Hi guys, it's only January and I think I've already heard the most absurd thing this year. Tommy Robinson will be Prime Minister one day. Okay, so I sort of understand why Talk TV and GB News keep interviewing Elon Musk's dad. His sort of politics and personality appeals to their viewers. But sadly it seems Times Radio is jumping on the bandwagon too. Errol Musk, who has a very shady history and personal life, told the host that the former EDL leader and guy currently sitting in prison for contempt of court will head the government one day. He also compared Robinson to Nelson Mandela. Have a listen to this.
If you're a student of history, which I am, then a student of history will tell you that there's a very good chance that Tommy Robinson will one day be the Prime Minister of England.
Wow.
Okay, so why does he keep referring to the United Kingdom as England? Now, Tommy Robinson will not be the Prime Minister of England because England doesn't have a Prime Minister. Like, this guy claims to be a student of history and he keeps referring to the United Kingdom as England. But let's continue.
Yes, very good chance. Well, you know, if you're a student of history, if you're not a student of history, then I can't help you.
Okay, well, why don't you educate us then? Why does history tell us one day that Tommy Robinson will be the leader
number of people who became head of their country, leaders of their country, who were initially imprisoned by the authorities that ruled at the time. And, so we can start with this country. Nelson Mandela, in 1963, was sentenced to death for bombings, particularly one bombing where they bombed pylons of electrical lines, which resulted in the deaths of many people and children, terrible harm to them, and lives not worth going on with. And he was sentenced to death for that. And it was commuted, thank heavens. But at the time, he was considered a criminal, a serious, real, bad person. And, he eventually turned out to be something quite different. But at the time, if you'd said to people, he will be the president of South Africa one day, people would have thought you had lost your marbles or something was wrong with you.
Well, look,
so it's not only Nelson Mandela. There are many, many examples.
My goodness, this guy is insane. Okay. Let's take a step back for a moment. He's comparing Tommy Robinson to Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was a fighter in a liberation organization. There was a political wing and there was a paramilitary wing. Now, how can you compare? And I'm not talking because for in regards to the politics. I'm talking about the practicalities. In what way is Tommy Robinson trying to liberate people? What organization is he representing? None of this makes any sense to me. Like, you're comparing, okay, Nelson Mandela went into prison, Tommy Robinson went into prison, so they're comparable. Now, you have to point to some sort of organization or goal that Tommy Robinson had, apart from promoting Tommy Robinson. Because that's what it's all about. There's no liberation here. Tommy Robinson is not some sort of freedom fighter. And of course, he's not a political prisoner. He was not put in prison because of his politics. He was put in prison because he was in contempt of court. Nelson Mandela was not put in prison because he refused to follow court orders. He was engaged in what was described at the time as terrorism. We're comparing apples and oranges here. But let's get to the next level. So let's say, for the sake of argument, Tommy Robinson comes out of prison. He's a free man. Okay, how does he become Prime Minister? Well, he would have to join a political party. Now, the closest political party he could join would be Reform UK. Reform UK being the closest political party that actually has any chance of getting into power. They have 5 MPs at the moment. They're likely to increase their number of MPs. Now, Nigel Farage has already said on a number of occasions he wants nothing to do with Tommy Robinson. Richard Tice has said he wants nothing to do with Tommy Robinson or his lot. So, in order for Tommy Robinson to become Prime Minister, he would have to join a political party. Nobody wants him at the moment. He would have to become an MP. So he'd have to join the party and become an MP. And then he would have to be the leader of that party. Now, is it possible that Reform UK will replace their leader, their current leader, with Tommy Robinson? Well, it's a bit difficult because Reform UK is a company and Nigel Farage is the majority shareholder. So what would have to... Is it possible? Yes, anything is possible in politics. But what would be required is for Tommy Robinson to become some sort of massive political figure, and he's not. He would have to have campaigns around the United Kingdom, not England, around the United Kingdom to get him out of prison. There would have to be motivations around the world, apart from his son, this guy's son, to get Tommy Robinson out of prison. And all of this would have to accumulate over time into a goal of getting him out of prison and getting him into politics. There isn't that motivation at the moment. The majority of people in Britain don't want anything to do with Tommy Robinson. And it's not because of the reason he's in prison. It's because of his politics. He represents a very, very small minority in Britain. This is not comparable to South Africa. This guy claims to be a student of history, and he's claiming that Tommy Robinson will be Prime Minister one day. Why? Well, because he likes Tommy Robinson, and because his son likes Tommy Robinson. But that's not how it works. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.